Doubleheader today. Philadelphia 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors. And we got my boy Damian Lillard going up against the Denver Nuggets in Denver. A quick turnaround for the Denver Nuggets after beating the Spurs in game 7 of the Western Conference first round. That was a great game. It was very sloppy in the first 3 quarters, but then the Spurs woke up and they were down, I believe, 12 points. They brought it down to 2 points, and then the Nuggets closed the game out. Jamal Murray stepped up. He has been a lot better than what I have given him credit for. I'll be very honest about that. I did not think when he came out of the draft that he'd be this good. I'll be the first to admit it. But he has been very good. So you have to give them props where props are due. So shout out to Jamal Murray. But going up against the Blazers is a whole different animal. You got arguably the best player in the playoffs in Damian Lillard, who gave the Thunder a goodbye after hitting a 35-foot game-winning three-point shot, which was incredible. Maybe the best first-round shot in NBA history, maybe the best buzzer beater in NBA history, period, because of what the ramifications were at the time, right? So we got that matchup. We're going over point spreads. We're going over the overs and unders of both of these games. Real quick, though, we'll start with the Sixers game and how inconsistent they are at times. You saw it in the first series against the Brooklyn Nets, and now in game 1, they really weren't prepared for this attack from the Raptors. You saw Kawhi Leonard do what he wanted. He was so patient with the ball. Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, nobody could really contain Kawhi Leonard. They have to do a much better job. They have to speed him up. Is that even possible, though? That's the real question. Is that possible? We'll soon find out. But they have to play a lot better for them to even have a chance to win game 2. I like the matchup with Jimmy Butler going up against either Siakam or Kawhi Leonard. Jimmy Butler needs to prove to the entire NBA world why he is a max type player this offseason. Will he get the job done? A lot of question marks. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. That's what Jimmy Butler has done. My thing is, can Jimmy Butler score enough points tonight to give his team a shot to win the game? The game starts in about an hour. It's going to be tough. The Raptors are a -7 for the game, -330 money line, and the over and under is 220 points. I think the game will be under today. It will be under 220, and I'm going to say it. I think the Sixers cover the +7, but they don't win the game. I have the Raptors winning game 2, but the game will be a lot closer than game 1. I expect Jimmy Butler to come out firing, and he needs to be a big part of this series. Joel Embiid, he understands that Marc Gasol, they intentionally traded for Marc Gasol for situations like this, where if they ever ran into the Sixers, they would have a guy that can play him one-on-one. Obviously, you don't want every possession to be one-on-one because Joel Embiid will win most of them. But the idea of bringing some hard doubles sometimes, confusing that Sixer offense is very interesting. And it was a very good pickup for the Raptors. But can Joel Embiid win inside consistently? Can he stay out of foul trouble? Can he hit more long-range jump shots? I know you want him inside the paint doing work, but sometimes that team needs to be spread out. And the thing is, Marc Gasol is so gifted on the offensive end that he brings out Joel Embiid. And that's a problem because Joel Embiid does not want to be on the perimeter. That is, just watch last year's series with the Boston Celtics. It was Al Horford, exposing him in so many ways because he's not as fast laterally. Now he does make up with it with his size and his length. I get that. But when he is put in those situations, in those pick and roll switches, they go after him. And rightfully so. You should go after a guy like that. Can he be a monster tonight and give his team a shot? Ben Simmons, will he ever develop a jump shot? Who knows? What I do know is that he is very good at attacking the rim. But in this series with Siakam, Kawhi Leonard, it's going to be very tough for him to create havoc inside the paint. He needs to at least attempt some jump shots to give his team a shot to win a game, to win this series. Kyle Lowry, he's going to be Kyle Lowry. He is going to do things that win basketball games. He may not always score big, but it's the little things, the screens he sets, the defense on switches. He's not afraid of bigger guys. He is very strong for his size, very underrated in that area. I am okay if you switch Kyle Lowry because I can trust him to stay put, to play big, and to give his team a great chance to stop the opposing team. That's what Kyle Lowry does game in and game out. He doesn't have to score buckets to be effective. That is a winning player that every coach would love to have. Facts. Before we continue to the next series, make sure to slap a like button, share it with your NBA family, with your friends, with your Nugget fans, Blazer fans, Raptor fans, Sixer fans. I appreciate the support, guys. We'll be doing a lot more of these, possibly some post-game as well. Next matchup, Denver Nuggets versus the Portland Trail Blazers. I have Portland winning this series in 7. 6 or 7. I'm not really sure. I'm going back and forth with that. Just depends on what they do tonight. I do expect them to win the game tonight. They are a +4 for the game, +150 money line. On the road, though, it's hard to play in Mile High City. It really is, regardless of the quick turnaround for the Denver Nuggets. They are used to playing in that altitude. Now, the Trailblazers are not. It's going to depend if whether or not Enes Kanter is healthy enough to bang against the Joker. If he is not healthy, then I have the Nuggets win the series. But if you can get Enes Kanter at 90%, at least 90%, I'm going to give this series to Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers. I just believe CJ McCollum is better than Gary Harris. He's better than Will Barton. That's how I feel about that. I absolutely feel that Damian Lillard is much better than Jamal Murray. So they win the matchup there. So the only matchup that I like is the Joker against a healthy Enes Kanter. But Enes Kanter is a beast inside the paint, offensively when it comes to offensive rebounds. He wasn't exposed by Billy Donovan, which was really surprising because he could not stay on the floor in OKC, and his game hasn't changed much. He's the exact same player. So it brings up question marks about Billy Donovan's ability to coach his players, which has a whole different conversation. But I thought that was really interesting. Are you going to take the Nuggets -4 today? I feel like the Nuggets are so susceptible to giving up leads, even when they have leads. And against Damian Lillard, with his unlimited range and his leadership qualities, I like the +4. I like them to win the game, but I love the +4. The over and under is 215. I don't know, man. Every game initial spread has been I think it's 11-0 for the under in game wins. This game, though, I have a feeling it's going to go over today. It's going to go over today, so I would go over. I wouldn't bet the over, but if I had to pick between the over and the under, I would go with the over today in game 1. And that 11-0 streak will end in game 1s for the under. The under is undefeated in game 1s. But I think today goes over 215. The matchups. What are the matchups? Again, if this team had a healthy Nurkic, I would definitely pick them with my eyes closed, but they don't. They have a banged up Canner, and the Nuggets are healthy. The Nuggets are healthy. That team is deep. I love Coach Mike Malone. I love what he's done in Denver. But again, the matchups to me matter. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are better, hands down, than Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, whatever guard lineup you want to put out there. They're better, period. Let me know what you guys think. Join the conversation right now. I appreciate everyone who has joined live. Wish the Kings would have drafted Dame. I do too. Damian Lillard is my favorite player. I've been saying it for a long time now, for years. He is only getting better in this prime of his career right now. The guy is an animal. Again, I believe he's been the best player in these playoffs. So the Blazers have a very good player to bank on for the next 10 years, barring injury. What's going on with the Kings so far? Nobody really knows, man. If someone says they know, they're lying to you. Right now, it's just the wait and see approach, and we'll go from there. Again, we'll have post-game analysis hopefully tonight in both games. I don't know if I'm going live after the first game, but I do want to go live after the second game, Nuggets Blazers. It's gonna be a great game, guys. It's gonna be a great game. Don't get me wrong. I would not be surprised if the Nuggets win the series, but I'm choosing the Blazers to win the series, and then I'm choosing the Raptors to win the series. But I do think the Sixers will cover tonight. Let me know what you guys think. Again, thank you guys so much. And I'll post this on Instagram. Make sure to follow us at Basketball's Official at Cowbell Kingdom. You guys can follow me as well, my personal one, at LBS. Thank you guys so much. See you guys on the next one.